This is where we spark change, ignite hope, and empower you to take control. It's time to rewrite the script. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Rewriting the Script. Today we'll be talking about finding your confidence. And on today's episode, we have a very, very special guest, my personal coach of Step and Twerk, also other dances, Tiara.
Thanks for having me.
I'm so excited to have you today.
I'm so excited to be here. Let's talk about all things confidence.
Yes. So we're going to jump right into it. How did you start your brand Confidence all in general?
So in 2015, I went to a dance fitness kind of class, and I was judged immediately as soon as I walked in, based off me being curvy, and the size that I am, and it was just like, you just felt the energy was just not good. So I ended up leaving that class because I was like, I stayed for a minute, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just dip out of here. So I dipped out of there, and that inspired me to start my own thing.
Okay.
I've been dancing since I was 5. So I've always been a dancer. I just never got into teaching. And at that point, I said, I'm going to start teaching women how to find their confidence, because if they walk into a space and they feel like, okay, no, I'm being judged, whatever, still stick through it, find your space in the room, So that's why I started it in 2015. And from that point, I just wanted to help other women find their confidence through dance and fitness.
Okay. So when you went in the class, did you leave during the class or in the middle of the class?
In the middle. I showed up and I showed out, but it was still I was younger. So okay. I'm I done came in here, I done showed off for a minute. It's time for me to go, because y'all don't have the vibes that I'm, looking for in the class and stuff like that. It's just, the demeaning looks was just, I just wasn't feeling
you just felt it was the energy in the room.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. It just wasn't there.
Yeah. And so I know you did dancing, because that's how I seen you dancing in college.
Mm-hmm.
So did you study dance in college, or was that your major?
It wasn't my major. Actually, my major was mathematics and accounting.
Okay.
So I did a lot of minor classes in dance there, as well as some Pilates and stuff like that. So I did get credits in a lot of the fitness and dance classes while I was there.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So how did you come up with your name? Because I love the way that you spell it. ConFITdance.
Yeah.
That's so dope to me. So how did you come about? What made you think of that name?
Well, I'm gonna give my homegirl shout out, Alexis. I went to Cass Tech with her,
Okay.
And we in 2017 she had a podcast. So we started, we wanted to do an event together, and because I was already teaching classes, we were trying to figure out what we could come up with for the name. Okay. So it was actually formerly ConFITdance, and then I was like, no, I want to put the fit into it, because we do a lot of dance fitness and fitness classes. So I ended up changing it to ConFITdance at that point. But I was just like, we dancing, we're finding our confidence. How can we merge the two together to come up with the brand?
Okay.
So that's how I came up with
it. Okay, so what about dance do you feel helps build confidence?
I feel like dance helps you take up space. Once you're there and you're in there and you take up the space, the energy that you get from it, that's really what, drives you into your confidence.
So yeah, because I remember my first day in your class. And I was so nervous. First of all, because I don't really dance in front of people like that. Mm-hmm. And I will only dance around my friends, my close friends. And even when we go out, I'm the friend that, I record. It'd be
you the one that's sitting on the side.
Yeah.
They ain't doing too much, just enough.
So when I went in your class, it was your class gave me, at the time that I stepped in your class, I was building confidence, because people always thought that I had confidence just because how I projected it, but I really didn't. Deep inside, there was no confidence, because Like I've always been like a little insecure. I don't want to say a lot insecure about my
Yeah.
weight, and I've always felt like people just staring at me, and so, after my situation, when I started to find myself and look for my confidence, um, I started to wean off the shyness a little bit, and then when I went to your class, it was like it gave me like another boost of confidence, especially because everybody in your class is so supportive. Like
Yeah.
they get you out your shell, and they make you feel welcome. Even when you feel like, I don't want
They gonna
to.
force you.
Yeah,
You ain't got
they,
no choice.
yeah,
You better bring that butt over
yeah,
here. Give me a little shake or
yeah,
something. Listen, but yeah,
yeah,
I was following you. It's so funny because we was following each other for a while before you even came to the class.
yeah,
And I just watched you on social media before you came. I would see you at first. You weren't posting as much. Then you start posting a lot.
yeah,
Then you start doing photo shoots and stuff like that. And I was like, look
yeah,
at Sasha, look at her, like everything. I was just like, wow, look at the growth. And then
yeah.
when you came to class and I got to know you for real, versus like the social media side, I was just like, yeah, she finding her confidence real
Yeah.
quick. Like
Yeah.
you already had it. It just had to be brought out.
Yeah.
That was it.
I had to find it. And I think it's so important for people to know, like, we need confidence, and when you don't have confidence, it can, like, I don't know, it just like brings you
It
the
play a major
feeling,
role.
yeah, in your life, because I feel
All
like too, you can
aspects.
miss out on opportunities by not having confidence.
Yeah, you can.
By not speaking. You walk into a room, and then because you don't have the confidence to speak to people or go up to people first, or even to go out to places. So that, I feel like confidence plays a big role in your life.
It does. Like you said, when you go in a room, it's like me. When I walk in a room, I'm first to speak. Hey, what's up? Hey, y'all.
Yeah.
Like even just something as small as that. You never know who around, who watching, especially if you're walking into a space that you might meet somebody that's gonna get you to the next level. And just
Yes.
because you say, hey, y'all, when
Yeah.
you walk in that room, that might make all the difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
having confidence in all aspects of life is so important. It's so important. And I really try to project that not only through, my classes, but just in life general. So
Yeah. And that's what I was about to say. Like, even outside of the class, I feel like it starts with you, with yourself. It's good because that was another big thing for me, is like, people would tell me all the time, you're pretty, you're this, you that, which is okay. Other people see it, but you gotta believe it. If you don't believe it, it don't mean nothing.
It don't mean nothing.
And that was my issue. Like, everybody will, oh, you're such a pretty girl, even outside my weight, you're very pretty, you're smart, you got a pretty face, blah, blah, blah. But I didn't see that. That's something that I had to see. And when I started to find myself, and I started to love on me, it just brought out, like, okay, like, I love this feeling. This is a feeling like I don't never want to lose. And I just hope and pray that, for a woman out there who doesn't know, who doesn't have confidence,
or don't know her worth,
or don't know their worth, can find their confidence, or even get it, because it's important to have a group of people also around you who can build you up as well.
Yes.
With yourself, and including having a people
around you, supportive, that can support building you up and building your confidence. That's very important. Because like that was around the same time that I started my brand. I had a moment, where I was not as confident. I was in a relationship where I was kind of like verbally, abused about my weight and things like that. So that played a role in me. Like, I don't care what nobody say. I love me, and I'm gonna be in every space that I want to be in confidently, and I don't care when somebody want to talk about my weight or what I look like or anything like that. I'm just like, it is what it is. But you're gonna have to learn how to accept me for who I am, or don't take me at all. So I just, it's a work in progress. It takes time to get to that point, and
Definitely.
some women, it's gonna take longer than others, but it's a journey, and it's your personal journey,
Yeah.
and no one can judge you for your own journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I just heard that yesterday. I was at a barbecue, Mother's Day barbecue, and she was pouring into me like about because she had found out about the podcast. She was pouring into me. She was like, "You tell your own story. Nobody can go and tell your story if you tell it 1st." So then, even like with your past, things from your past, if you've already said it, then what can they can't use it against you because you told it already, and having to be able to be vulnerable and open with the world, like about my story, even you being opening up, about things in your life, that takes courage. It takes confidence,
It take a lot.
Yeah. And that's another thing. Like I know how I felt in that time. That was a dark, dark place for me. And I don't want anyone to feel like that. So if I could just help one person or encourage one person, we could help encourage just one person to figure it out or try to help, try to figure it out, find their confidence.
And know that it's not them. They're not the problem. They're not, that's coming from me and my vulnerability now. Like it's not you. You are not the problem.
Yeah.
It's not that at all. Like it's that other person's problem or those other things that's going on in your life that is that problem, but it's not yours.
Yeah.
So like like you said, you was in a bad space. I was too in that relationship.
Yeah.
I was drinking a lot. I was drinking my head off. I shouldn't have been drinking as much as I was drinking, but I was doing it thinking I'm coping, and I'm not.
Yeah,
and when I danced, it was different. I found my release.
Yeah.
So you're gonna find things that's gonna help you release and find your confidence at the same time.
You found you a healthy outlet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like that's amazing. Like that's beautiful to hear. And you know, it's crazy. It's really, really that's crazy. I'm getting a little emotional.
I understand. Yeah.
But
because it hit home.
Yeah.
It do.
And I feel like I had to figure out also when you learn me figuring out who I am, like far as like what helped me, another big thing that helped me was learning how God felt about me. Like when you know what he says about you and how he feels about you, it helps you to love yourself more.
Yes.
And not care what the outsiders say because only his opinion matters.
Yeah.
And once I posted that today, once you love yourself, see yourself how God sees you, it will help. Like it's a reality check. Like opinions don't matter, people don't matter. As long as he approves of you and what you're doing, that's all that matters.
Absolutely.
And he is love. We was made for a purpose. We the head. I'm the head and not the tail. And it's just amazing. Like it's the love of God is just so amazing. And to know that there is someone who will love me regardless of my flaws, how I look, my size. Like, it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I agree 100%. It's nothing like God's love. I say that all the time, and I wake up every morning thanking Him for bringing me here, keeping me here, and everything that goes on around me. Just keeping His arms around me. So yeah.
So how do you like think that people should like for someone who is seeking outside validation? Like what would you say to them or the encouragement or what?
You don't need it. You don't need outside validation. The only validation you need is yours. If you feel good, you feel like you look good, you feel like everything that you're doing in your life is good for you and it makes you truly heavy on a truly happy, then that's all that matters.
Right.
Ain't nobody say, oh, you need to not do this. Oh, how many people talk about me and my work classes and stuff like that? I don't care. Because shaking his ass makes me happy, okay? It makes me happy. Listen, I be like, yeah. And I love doing it. I love it.
I don't see a problem. Like me personally, I don't see a problem with it. It's dance. We're exercising. We're working out. But like you said, somebody gonna have an opinion.
Oh, I've had many
Everybody's
on
gonna
social
have
media for
opinion.
real. Like that outside, those outside voices.
Oh yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. Because I
Them
already have
outside
one.
voices when I first got started and I was doing all of this and negativity. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do this. Blah 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 blah. But look where I am today.
Yeah,
I've grown.
yeah,
Yes, don't listen to them.
Yeah.
Don't listen to them at all because they gonna hold you back.
yeah.
They know they can see your potential. So they're gonna try to do everything they can. It ain't nothing but the devil and the enemy working, working to make sure that you not doing what you really want to do for yourself. Oh no, don't do that. Oh no, don't go take that class. Don't get that degree. Don't do none of that.
Yeah.
Nah, do it. If that's what your heart set out, that's what God told you to do, go and do it. Try it. Even if it don't work out. You did it.
No, you're definitely right about that because when I started this podcast, I would call Ebony. Like, Ebony, I'm nervous. I don't know if this, not even just to her, to myself. Like, is this really what you're supposed to, was this really what you're supposed to be doing? Are you sure you want to do this? What they gonna say? And it's like, I would question God all the time about it. And it was like that whole time, a couple times, like I was hearing, the enemy is scared where God trying to take you. So he gonna do anything in his power to get you to not do what he put on your heart. You know what I'm saying? So whether it's fear, he gonna put fear in your mind. He gonna mess with your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make you feel like you're not good enough. And God says the opposite. A lot of times, me being open, honest, and transparent, I forget to go back to my word. When the enemy starts talking to my mind. And that's the first thing we need to do is go to your word and remind yourself, what do God say about me? Yep. What did he say about my life?
Yep.
And fight the enemy back. He'll flee.
Trust
me. He that's that for me at least, he attacks me in my thoughts.
He gonna attack you in your thoughts. There's so many times I've wanted to give up. So many times I wanted to give up.
Yeah.
So many times I done had people come in and you think they good. You think they for you. You think they're supportive of what you're doing. But at the end of the day, they had their own motives. And, they was not there for you in a good way. It was the enemy trying to attack you.
Right.
With that shield, they had that face on. Oh yeah, I got that nice face on, but behind that mask was something totally different. And I've been through it, within just this industry and other industries that I'm in as well, where people are just, they put on that facade like they're there for you and then they're not. They turn around to be something else. And like you say, you go back to the word, and that's what I do because every day I pray. Every day I'm in the word and I'm asking God, is this person here for me? Am I making the right decisions? Am I forming the right relationships with others? Because I don't need their validation, but at the end of the day, sometimes you cannot, succeed and grow without having others around. So I have to really pray about who's around me and who, is really for me at the end of the day. And not just for me, but for the brand, which is for other women.
Right.
So because that's my ultimate goal.
Yeah. I get it. That's so important. Definitely discernment. Discernment is because people definitely will come in and wear a mask.
Yes, that mask.
Definitely.
Ooh, I had it so many times I can't even count no more. I'm just like, but
when it first happened, it shocked you a little bit because even I feel like I got a good filter. Like I feel like
I can sense them out, and I still can. Oh my goodness, that is me. I be like, oh my goodness.
Okay,
who'd ever thought?
Okay, so that's gonna lead me to a question. So how do you handle that? Like if you figure out like, okay, this person, nah, It's not
You
for
gotta
me.
be real smart about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to handle it with grace.
Right.
You know, no talking about it, like on social media,
Mm-hmm.
Because you still represent yourself. You are a brand yourself.
Right.
So yeah, that's the first place they gonna check is social media.
Yeah.
You are a reflection of yourself and your brand, and you are your brand. So I just I I handle it in a manner that I'm a Cancer, so I'm the type of person that once I know your true colors and you know how you roll for real, I slowly migrate myself away from you, the distance. I form that distance.
Mm-hmm.
And it may not be a bad distance like, I'm being shady or I'm doing this and I'm doing that terribly,
Yeah.
but you're gonna know from me
Yeah.
that I'm distancing myself from
Yeah.
you. And I'm not gonna tell you why, how, when, and where.
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna slowly distance myself from you. Like that's what I do.
Right.
I distance myself because I cannot have you around me. That messes up with my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
That messes up with my mood. That just messes everything up. And when my mood is not good, my creativity ain't at its best.
Right.
Because now I'm second guessing. If I do this and if I wanna, come out with a new class or something like that, and then boom, I'm thinking about what that person did to me or how other people will respond. So I
Right.
kind of like, distance myself, and that just helps me,
Yeah. And ain't nothing, and that's nothing's ain't nothing wrong with that because I think that we ooh, I just repeated that too many times. Edit that out. I think that we feel like everybody is meant to be around us. Like it's okay, even if they are good, because you can have there's a good person and somebody can be good and they still not meant to be in your circle. Or they could just be meant to be there momentarily. You know what I'm saying? And I don't feel like there's nothing wrong with distancing. If you feel like you need to distance yourself or somebody shouldn't be around you, especially if it's malicious.
You have
There ain't
to.
nothing wrong with
You
that.
gotta do it for the sake of your own, your sanity, your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that person or that thing, it could be a thing, it's not always people, it could be things that's happening. But those things and people are not why you started. They're not why
Yes.
you're doing what you're doing. They're not why your why. They're not a part of your why.
Mm-hmm.
So when you distance yourself, then you still hitting towards your mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that matters.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because your why is so important. I'm in a mentorship program, and he always tells us if your why is not, if you don't understand your why, then you're never gonna be able to go where you need to go. Your why needs to be important, or you need to know your why.
Mm-hmm.
So when you know
Yep.
your why, then you can go ahead and go do what you're supposed to be
Yeah,
doing.
exactly. Just like when you came to class, you were shy and
Oh yeah.
everything. My why is, literally helping y'all find y'all confidence.
Yeah.
Like you got it. We just gotta find it. Cause guess what? You were shy. Now you be
Mhm.
moving. Now you be soloing and everything like
Yeah.
that. Like that. And then now look, you're doing this.
Yeah.
You're blossoming in
Mhm.
all parts of your life.
Yeah.
That's my why.
Your class has definitely helped me grow, and like I love coming to your class because also too it's like an escape. I don't want to say it's
It is an escape
it's an
from
outlet for
reality.
me as well. It's a healthy outlet for me,
Mm-hmm.
a healthy outlet and an escape for me. Yeah, I'm gonna use that.
It is.
Escape.
And it's an escape from reality because it's
Yeah.
mine.
Yeah.
When I walk in there, I don't know where I'm at. I'm in class, but I'm like, I'm in a zone, I'm in twilight because
Yeah.
I'm not thinking about nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else.
I'm not saying like, oh, I'm avoiding my issues, or you know, I'm I use it to cope, but it helps me think better. It puts me in a better space.
Clarity.
Yeah. So it's one of the things that I seek outside of. I'm not saying I seek other things than God, but it's a help. It's another. It's a healthy
Supplement.
alternative.
A supplement.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Because
There we go. That's
don't
the word
never
I was
replace
looking for.
God. It's just a
Yeah,
little
exactly.
supplement,
Because people be
little
quick to
addition.
people be quick to misinterpret what you're saying.
Yeah,
So I'm trying to
I
make
got
that
your
clear.
back.
I ain't saying I replaced it with God.
No, and I
But
ain't even gonna say no.
yeah,
It's a supplement.
yeah,
It's
that's what I'm trying
additional
to
to
say.
the
Yeah,
package. You got your
yeah,
whole package. You the main one, but you
yeah,
got your little something to go
exactly.
with it.
Yeah, and
So
I'm on my fitness journey. So this is something that I do also for my fitness journey. It's a workout. Your class is
everybody say that every
listen.
week. They
This
all
class is
message
a
me.
workout. Okay, every time the next day I be prepared. My knees be sore.
That's what everybody
But it's
say. The legs, the
fun.
knees,
It works
yeah.
every part of your body, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so much fun. It's so much fun. Like you know,
I be so sad when the club is over.
yeah.
Be like, dang, it's time to go.
ConFITdance.
Listen, the club be popping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So if there's people out there who's hesitant to come to your class or was scared to come take a class, what advice can you give them?
The first step is walking out the door of your home
Mm-hmm.
or work if you're coming from work.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Once you step into the studio, you done already made it there.
Mm-hmm.
You already made it because once you get in the room with us, we so inviting, energetic, encouraging. You're not gonna want to leave.
Yeah.
So that's really the first step. You don't have to be insecure. But I always know my first timers because they walk in very
Yeah.
timid. They go straight to the back. They don't say nothing to nobody, and they just look. They had a look on their
Yeah.
face, and they just be like. And I go up to them and I be like, "It's your first time, isn't it?" And they're like, "Yes, it is. I'm just trying to figure out where I go." And I be
Yeah.
like, "You go anywhere you want to, step, or if it's a regular class, anywhere you want to stand.
Yeah.
I just know. I be like, you don't have to worry about nothing. This ain't that kind of class. I always ask for the name. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
personable person. I like to know your name.
Yeah.
I try to remember everybody's name. So you don't have to be insecure. It just the first step is getting there.
Yeah.
Once you're there, you there.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah. That is the first step. You can't do something without doing something. Do it scared if you have to.
Yeah. And you got to get uncomfortable
Yes.
to get comfortable.
Oh my God. Yes. I'm so happy you. Yes. Let's talk about uncomfortability and comfortability because I'm still uncomfortable with getting comfortable. And I
It's
feel
a
like,
process.
yeah, oh my God, I feel like no matter what in every season, I'll be like, dang, I just feel like I ain't even got comfortable. I'm not comfortable here yet. But I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's not a bad thing also because I don't want to get comfortable in something.
No, you don't.
Yeah, because it's about growth. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
if you're comfortable,
You just
you ain't
straight
gonna
shot.
grow. Like I was at work today, and my 8-year anniversary covered up, right? And I walked in the bathroom, I said, Lord, I want to be here past 10 years. I got 2 more years in me. If it's your will. Because I'm comfortable there. I'm
Mm-hmm.
comfortable at my job, but I also I can't say this. I've noticed that I've made not even trying to toot my own horn, but I've noticed that I've made a big impact around my job during these 3 years that I went through my divorce journey,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and because so many people at my job, they become coming up to me like, oh my God, like you are a whole different person. Like they be like, and I'm so happy, like, you light up the room, you make, you turn negatives into positives, because anytime like we in a job and somebody complaining about something, I always try to give them a different
A different
perspective,
perspective.
you know. And I remember one of the older ladies there, she came up to me like, if I ever see your mom, I'm gonna tell her she raised a great daughter. Like, and she was like, cause you just always positive, you make it's nice to be around you.
Mm-hmm.
So I've noticed like just within these 3 years, I made a difference there. But I be like, I feel like I've done what I'm supposed to do there, and I feel like I'm ready to move
Move
on.
on.
And even with this, your class, um, Because I sometimes be, even though I've been going to your class for almost a year now, there's sometimes I still be uncomfortable. Like, especially like, because you're on tour right now.
Yeah.
Yes, Tiara's on tour. She's going to
Seeing all
different
these new
cities.
faces definitely
Yes.
making you uncomfortable.
Yes. And I've been on tour with her twice. I went to Dallas with her, in Chicago, and we had a ball. It was so much fun. But also, I've met people there who, like the one lady who
in Chicago.
Yeah, and
y'all instantly connected.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, I want to follow." Like she wanted to follow me, want to take a picture with me, and I'm like awkward, being awkward. Like
she probably remember you from social media.
She said that. That's
that
what she
one
said.
post I looked at the other day had 1 million views. I said, "Whoa!"
Yeah, and that's another thing. It's like I am people, even at oh my god, my job, my job. I've had people who I don't know but see my face come up to me like, "I see you on TikTok. I see you on Facebook," and I be like, so I'm getting used to that, and it's just like, okay,
yeah. I get that a lot too.
Yeah,
so I get it. You be like, "Oh, okay, yeah." But now you gotta just like you're gonna get out of it. You're like, "Okay, yeah." Like now, I'll be like, "Come join me," or like for your podcast, if they start seeing stuff for the podcast, then be like, "Well, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the next episode." Keep your traction going. So
yeah, and I've always wanted to play the background girl, like the helper, and God told me like, he put it on my heart like, nah,
sis,
this is not the time for you to play the background. Like, I'm taking you somewhere, and it's just that the places he's taking me, and I see it's like because I see it, you know what I'm saying. But I'm, being honest, it's a little fear there, because I'm uncomfortable with it. I gotta play in the front, and sometimes I have trouble speaking. But like I said, that's just the enemy, putting fear in my heart.
Yeah.
And, so I'm being forced to be in the front.
Yeah.
And I'm stepping like into all these different things that I've never done before. And it's just like if you stay in your comfortability, you're never gonna grow.
No. So I'm glad you know that.
Yes. So I just want to tell, if somebody's watching this, like please, if there's something on your heart that you want to do and it's uncomfortable, just do it. Take that one step to do it, because you can stop yourself from getting to a place that can be just so amazing. Grow. I've learned that if there's no growth in your life, you're gonna always stay stagnant.
Oh yes.
You always gonna feel like nothing happening. You just gonna feel like
you're gonna be unhappy with life.
Yeah, you gonna
be
unsatisfied.
Oh,
there we go. That's the
you're
word
going
I
to
was
be
looking
unhappy
for.
with life and unsatisfied.
You
don't have
Yes.
You have no adrenaline.
Yes.
There's no adrenaline. When you on a comfortability ride, you got to buckle up and get ready for that ride. Because you're gonna go up and down, round and round. You got to be locked in, okay? Locked in.
Yeah, because my marriage kept me comfortable. And I was stagnant in that. And this is not no shade, no shot, but I couldn't grow in that marriage because I didn't realize how unhappy I was until I got out of it. And the first thing in my mind is, oh Lord, this all I know. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know where I'm going next, what I'm supposed to do. And then it was like now it's just me. And of course, I had my 2 kids, but now it's just me. I had the time to like actually look and see what is it in me that's holding me back. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, I done lost myself in this marriage, and that was on me. You know what I'm saying? That was on me, like me losing myself. All I know was being a wife and being a mom. I didn't have no identity outside of that. So when I'm like, when I started to find myself and I started to just do different things, even like, okay, stepping, like we said, stepping out my comfort zone. I started to like, dang, I like this. Even though it was uncomfortable, it was
You
like,
discover stuff about
I like
yourself.
doing this. Dang,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I could do this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know I was capable of this. So things, relationships could hold you back.
They can.
You know,
I 100% agree.
rela-
I done been through it.
relationships
And
hold
I done
you
been
back.
through
Yeah,
it. Ain't nobody gonna hold me back
yeah,
from doing what I wanna do.
yeah,
Listen, they can't. They cannot.
yeah.
I done been through that before where I was held back. Oh, it's just not you not supporting me. You not
Hmm.
nope. You got to
Yeah,
go. Cause not I'm not gonna be just about this relationship that we have. I'm still gonna be my own person at the same time. I'm not gonna
yeah,
change that.
yeah. I wasn't. That was the issue. Like, um, I had said this before, is I leaned on my partner a lot for my happiness. And that's not okay. You know what I'm saying? That's not his job. It's never your partner's job to um I don't want to say make you happy.
They supposed to contribute to
Contribute
it,
to your
but they're
happiness.
not they're not your whole
Yeah, you don't
being of being happy.
you don't rely
Yeah.
on them to make you
Mm-hmm.
happy. Because what if there's a day that they can't be, like they're having a rough day and a sad
They
day,
can't make
and they
your
can't
day
make
good.
it,
You gotta make theirs. You
yeah.
gotta support them that day.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I knew I went wrong. It was like I was leaning on my partner too much for that, but I didn't, like I said, I realized that after relationship, instead of me figuring out the things like what makes you happy, what do you like to do,
Mm-hmm.
you know, well, I had to figure that out, and yeah, here I am today.
Yeah, I got you.
Here I am today.
There you are, growing and glowing.
Yes. Oh my God, it's a lot of growth, okay? Because I would never. If you would tell me this,
You never thought in your life you would be
nah,
doing this right now,
mm-mm,
would you?
nope,
Get
nope.
ready. You still got to buckle up for the
Oh
ride
yeah,
because you got a lot more coming. You don't even know it.
I was told that yesterday.
Oh wow,
Okay, I was told that
that's
yesterday.
a sign.
I was
That's
told
a
that yesterday,
sign.
and I always think like, okay, God, I'm trying to prepare, because I see it. Like once again, I keep saying I see it because I do see it. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's just like how you when you see things aligning, and then opportunities just coming your way. And I don't even want to say, because I know all good opportunities are not for you. Just because you
Oh
get an
yes,
opportunity don't mean you say yeah. That's another thing.
yes, yes, yes.
We think we should say yes to everything,
No,
and we shouldn't. So that's something that I'm trying to figure out as well, is okay, God, trying to include God and go about him first. Like, okay, do I do this? Do you want me to say yes to this? It seemed like a good opportunity, but is this something that's I'm supposed to do?
you can't always be 100% prepared for that. If that makes sense, like
Mm-hmm.
yes, you want to be prepared for things that's gonna come about as you grow, expand, and everything. But with God, He gonna have you ready regardless on if you feel ready or not. And you're
I
gonna
believe
have
that.
that discernment where you know if something is good for you or not. Because I have had things where people reach out to me and I'm thinking it's oh so good, and I learned that it wasn't. So
Mm-hmm.
now I know how to kind of like figure out, oh, they may be making it seem like it is, but it's really not. When you
Right.
get details, you just you start to figure out, how to shift into things the right or way.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna know what's good for you and what's not good for you. Like it's gonna come off as good, but you're gonna know.
Yeah.
There's gonna be little things that stick out to you that tells you,
Yeah.
this might not be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on to the next one.
Yeah.
No, thank you for the opportunity, but no, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't have the capabilities or the space to. Yeah.
So, what are some tips and techniques that you can help any listeners that's watching right now to help boost their confidence?
My tips are, well, I'm gonna start off with this because being a dancer, you gotta have mirrors, you gotta see yourself. But in other aspects of your life, you gotta see yourself too. Look in the mirror. Tell yourself you beautiful. Tell yourself you can do this. what they say, affirmations of a real.
Yeah.
You on your, that's my jug right now, okay? Listen, those affirmations are everything. That's why when we do like a lot of our group challenges and stuff on the app, I always start the first day like with affirmations. You need to tell yourself that you can do these things. Not only that, you got to be bold.
Right.
Wear bold colors, wear bold outfits, statement things, within the fitness industry. But in life, other aspects of life, you got to be bold too.
Yeah.
So bold in how you talk, bold in how you stand. Make sure your posture is up, things like that. Like all of those things make a difference. So when you make those bold statements, and you speaking to yourself, looking in the mirror, every morning when you wake up and tell yourself you beautiful, what you're gonna do today, what you're gonna accomplish, what are your goals, and how you're gonna do it. You talking to yourself, you speaking to yourself. Yes. So that's within the dance and within life.
Yeah.
So that's just how I feel. Like you gotta speak it to believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll add to that because you're definitely right about that. Because if you're not speaking it to yourself, you're not gonna believe it if somebody else saying it to you. So mirror work. When I was in therapy, my one book that my therapist had me do was called Mirror Work, and it was 21 days. And that, man, let me tell y'all, that literally, I think that book started my actual healing. I thought I was healing, but I think when I started that book, it was like something shifted in me because it really made me look at myself in the mirror. Because I say this all the time, there was a point in time in my life where I couldn't look in the mirror. I hated the mirror. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't like what I seen. You know what I'm saying? Oh, here we go. I hated what I seen when I looked in the mirror. And even afterwards, even when I started to get confidence, it was hard for me to speak to myself in the mirror. So that book changed my life. It helped me to start every day, every morning looking at you beautiful today. You look good. Even on my worst days when I ain't looking my best, I still tell myself you look good no matter what, and you need to do it yourself because no matter hearing it from other people, you're not gonna feel it.
No woman, nobody but yourself.
It's going to and I like that. I'm saying that had a lot to do. I'm not trying to go back into that, but it just had a lot to do with my self-esteem. Like a lot of my issues was me because I didn't believe in myself. I didn't like myself. I didn't love myself. I didn't like what I seen. But guess what? That only changes if you choose to get up and do something about it yourself. You can't expect your mate, your friend, your mama, your daddy,
sister, cousin, brother.
They could tell you you're beautiful, you look good, you this, you're smart, you're intelligent, all they want. But if you don't believe it and you don't do the work, it's not going to resonate within you.
Yeah.
So get up and do something about it.
Period. Y'all hear that?
So would you like to tell them, your social medias, where they can find you at, how they can come book a class? Because come and step and twerk with us. Come
to the club.
She got Pilates. She got all that,
got different clubs.
Yeah. Matter of fact, go ahead. Yeah, tell them how different classes you got, where they can find you, and all that.
Okay.
All that good stuff.
Well, I teach a variety of classes: hip hop cardio, step and twerk cardio, Pilates and stretch, heels class, and pole fitness. My curvy girls, y'all think y'all cannot do pole? You can. You hear me? You can do pole. It takes a lot of work though, So my website is ConFITdance.com. I do have free classes on YouTube. My YouTube is ConFITdance7884. I am on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, ConFITdance LLC on Facebook, TikTok ConFITdance, and on Instagram _ConFITdance. So I am on all the major platforms except for X. Yeah.
All right. Y'all heard that. So
book a class.
Yeah.
Right on the website. We post our schedule every month, so you can see what classes we offer for the month. They do sell out.
That's what I was about to say, hey man, go get them tickets because they be gone.
They be gone.
They be gone. Okay.
Listen, they be gone.
They be like crumb snatchers.
Yeah. Classbook out my phone be like ding 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 ding. I be like, oh, these girls ain't playing. They ain't playing, and I love it. I love it.
Yeah, that's a great thing
Yeah.
though. You know, I love that for you, and I'm happy for you, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You know, and I'm happy that you're a part of my life now, and
Yeah,
I'm a part of my journey. And
thanks for having me a part of your journey, and thanks for being a part of mine, because y'all are a part of my journey too. It's not just about me or the brand, it's about everybody else that is a part of it. So I appreciate y'all, seriously.
Yeah, all right. We're gonna wrap it up, and thank y'all for watching. We hope y'all got something out of this, and we'll catch y'all at the next episode. Bye.
Bye.